Good evening, and welcome to the Mystery Rift. I am David Paulides. For over a decade, my life has been consumed by one question. What is happening to the people who vanish without a trace in our North American wilderness? This isn't about people getting lost on a casual day hike. This is about a pattern of unexplained disappearances. A chilling, specific cluster of cases I call Missing 411. It's a phenomenon that the National Park Service, for years, did not officially track. Think about that. A government agency responsible for millions of acres of wildland, yet no centralized, accessible database of those who simply dissolved into thin air. This lack of official record, this silence, is where the true mystery begins to unfold. The cases that fall into the Missing 411 profile aren't random tragedies. If they were, they'd be sad, but entirely explainable. Instead, we find recurring, bizarre commonalities, a haunting set of circumstances that defy all conventional search and rescue logic. I started this project after an unnamed park ranger approached me, deeply concerned about the questionable nature of some of these vanishing acts and the secrets the system seemed to be keeping. Here are some of the key profile points. We consistently see the victims often vanish with incredible speed. A child is playing mere feet from their parents. An experienced hunter steps behind a bush. A hiker pauses for a moment to tie a bootlace. They are gone in a flash, often in less than 60 seconds. As if an unseen curtain simply dropped. We also notice atypical victim profiles, small children, usually under the age of 10, and experienced. Highly skilled hunters and outdoorsmen. These are two extremes. One, lacking the ability to cover large distances. The other, possessing the specialized knowledge to survive in the worst conditions. Both groups, oddly, become the prey. Then there's the frustrating detail of the canine response. This is one of the most consistent yet baffling facts in the 411 database. Trained search dogs, some of the best in the world, often failed to pick up a scent at the last known location. Or worse, their scent trails end abruptly, sometimes on a flat, open rock face, or in the middle of a clear trail, as if the person was instantaneously taken from the ground. And when victims are eventually found, sometimes years later, the locations are impossible. They are often discovered in areas that were searched multiple times by hundreds of people. They are found in extremely difficult, high elevation, or remote terrain that a small child or an elderly person simply could not have ascended or reached on their own. It's utterly inexplicable. Let's look at one example that embodies the sheer strangeness of this phenomenon: the disappearance of Jared Negrete. In July 1991, 12-year-old Jared was with a large Boy Scout group hiking on Mount San Gorgonio in the San Bernardino National Forest, California. He lagged behind his troop for a brief moment to take a photograph. And when the troop paused, he was just gone. Rescuers quickly found a trail of footprints, some candy wrappers, and the disposable camera he was carrying. But when the final two pictures on that camera were developed, they presented a disturbing new layer of mystery. One was an extreme close-up of Jared's face, a bewildered, perhaps even terrified expression, and the very last picture was of his own feet on the ground, pointing in a strange, unidentifiable direction. It was as if something or someone else was right there with him, taking those last ominous pictures before he vanished. His camera, his footprints, all found and documented. But Jared Negrete himself, never seen again. How does a Boy Scout on a clear summer day on a well-known mountain trail vanish this completely without a struggle? The clustering of these cases is undeniable. We've mapped areas across the US and Canada, including Yosemite, the Great Smoky Mountains, and sections of Washington State. These disappearances occur with a statistically improbable frequency, often near large bodies of water, lakes, rivers, or swamps. They also frequently occur in areas where the geological structure of the region includes a high concentration of granite on the ground, a fact that cannot be ignored. Another terrifying element is found when victims are recovered. It's called paradoxical undressing. In some cases, deceased bodies, often hypothermic, have their clothing, sometimes even their boots, removed and folded neatly nearby. Why would a person fighting for survival against the extreme cold undress themselves? It raises dark questions about the victim's state of mind and the environment they encountered in those final moments. Furthermore, we see cases of extraordinary distances. Small children, barely old enough to walk, have been found 10 or even 20 miles from the point of vanishing. They are often minimally clothed, unharmed, but in a state of confusion or shock, unable to articulate who or what took them. The question is not how they survived, but how they covered that terrain without detection, unless they were not traveling on the ground at all. The question I'm asked most often is, what is the cause? I am a former police officer. I deal in facts, patterns, and evidence, not wild speculation. My work is to present the pattern that official sources have chosen to ignore, and to let you, the public, draw your own frightening conclusions. Is it a territorial cryptid, like the legends of Bigfoot or another large, unknown primate, known to inhabit many of these exact same regions? The sheer strength and ability to carry a full-grown adult or a child silently over rugged terrain would fit many of these profiles. Is it an anomaly in the landscape itself, a rare, naturally occurring phenomenon? Maybe a localized temporal shift that we simply don't have the science to understand yet. We must consider everything when conventional answers fail so completely. The most disturbing aspect, however, remains the lack of transparent, centralized data from our federal authorities. The official silence. When I filed a Freedom of Information Act request to the National Park Service for a comprehensive list of missing persons, the response I received was staggering a fee for millions of dollars. This unwillingness to compile and release a simple list of missing people is not only unhelpful, it is, in my opinion, an act of intentional, deliberate obstruction. Why the silence? Why the lack of accountability? Is the government worried about bad publicity for the parks? Or is there something far more sinister at play? Something they are absolutely unwilling to acknowledge to the American public. Every one of these missing people, every child, every veteran, every hiker was someone's family. They are not footnotes in a dusty file cabinet. They are a mystery that demands genuine dedicated attention, and an open mind to the impossible. The missing 411 cases are a sobering coincidence. They are a stark reminder that even in the most beautiful, pristine places on Earth, there is an unseen, unexplained force at work. Our goal at the Can-Am Missing Project has always been to document, to expose the pattern, and to force a conversation about the genuine dangers lurking in our wildlands. Be aware of the geographical clusters. Be aware of the strange weather patterns. And most importantly, do not dismiss the impossible when the obvious and simple answer is nowhere to be found. Next time you are in the deep woods, remember the silent question. If you or your loved one were to vanish, would your case become just another file in the missing 411? Thank you for joining me on the Mystery Rift. If you want to learn more about the specific cases I've investigated, please check out my books. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell. And leave a comment below with your thoughts on these unsettling disappearances. Until next time, stay safe out there and watch your back.